Oh, I'm back. All right, so a couple nights ago, I tried to take a picture of a comet with my smart telescope, the Dwarf Lab 2, which here's what a Dwarf Lab 2 looks like. It's a first generation smart telescope. They now sell the Dwarf Lab 3, which I would love to get, but one telescope at a time. This is the Dwarf Lab 2. I got it a couple of years ago specifically to record the 2024 eclipse. But since then, I've been also using it to do the other astrophotography features that it does come with. You'll notice that so the telescope looks like when it gets activated. Has a wide angle lens and a telephoto lens. Rotates on a base like this, and then this rotates, and that's pretty much how it calibrates itself, and also how it finds targets in the night sky, coupled with an app on your phone or tablet. And that's kind of how the Dwarf Lab system works. Anyway, so a couple nights ago I tried to get a picture of a comet, and I reported that I didn't think I did get a picture of it. Specifically, it was R2 Swan 2025. And turns out I actually did get a picture of it. I just didn't realize it when I first looked at the pictures I got. And I will show what I did get. So yeah, when I first looked at these pictures, I thought this was a star cluster, or a globular cluster, as they're sometimes called. No, it turns out that this actually is the comet R2 Swan. It looks a lot like a star cluster because I'm using a low power telescope for one reason, and then also it does not have a comet tail. It hasn't reached the point where it has a tail, or if it does, it's not visible. So it kind of fooled me into thinking that I really didn't catch the comet, when it turned out that I did. But anyway, so that was a couple nights ago. And then last night, I decided to go after a comet that's supposed to look much better. It's called A6 Lemmon. And I did go out last night and capture it, and wow, what a difference. I'm going to show the pictures that I got in a minute. But first, one of the things I thought I would do is I thought I would demonstrate the astronomy software that I use to help search for targets, or just for general I don't know, fun with astronomy. This is software that's actually fun to use even for non-astronomers, because what this software does is it shows you what the night sky would look like from wherever location you're at on the Earth and whatever time of day. You put all that in, and it'll show you what the sky should look like, and then you can find targets in the sky. But anyway, the software package I use for that is called Stellarium. It's available on the internet for free. It's wonderful software. I'm going to show you how I would use it to find something that I'm going to try to take the telescope out and look for. So let me first shrink myself down into the corner and turn on the desktop. And let's have a look at Stellarium. Stellarium up and running. So it's showing us the sun, of course, because it's in the afternoon. So down here we will see some settings and tools, and then over on this side are a bunch of other settings and tools. So here's what I would usually do is I would first make sure that the time is paused, and then I would go to the date time window right there, and we see it's the 30th of October in 2025. It is 14 o'clock or 2:26. So now it's supposed to be cloudy tonight according to the forecast. So I don't know I'm going to be able to go out and make a second attempt at viewing and photographing this comet. Like I said, I did get it last night, but I would like to go out and get it again tonight. So anyway, for tonight then, I'm on the right day today. I just need to crank it up to, I'm going to tick the hours one at a time until it hits 18, which would be 6 o'clock. In fact, this is showing 6:26. I'm going to run this up to 30, and I'll make this a 0. And so now I've set the time for 6:30 this evening, and you'll see how Stellarium attempts to show you what the sky is going to look like, how the sun is going down, but there still is some sunlight in the distance. It shows you that if you could see some stars, here's what you would see and where they would be. Although I can tell you that in reality tonight at 6:30, this close to the southwest, these stars would not be visible till probably more like about 6:45 or so. But anyway, Stellarium is also showing us where the moon's going to be at 6:30, and the moon's going to be prominent in the sky tonight, so it's not going to be a good night for shooting deep sky objects. However, comet should be fine. Moon is a little more than half full, I think. But that's where the moon's going to be, and I would like to know. Now, I do have a smart telescope, so it is capable of calibrating itself on the night sky and finding whatever object I tell it to go find. However, I do like to have some idea of roughly what compass direction am I going to be looking for this object in, because depending on where I go to set up the telescope, I want to make sure there's not going to be any trees or buildings that are going to be in the way, particularly for this comet, A6 Lemmon, because A6 Lemmon is going to be fairly low on the horizon, roughly about 20 degrees, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going by memory there, but I think it's pretty low on the horizon. So I do like to have some idea what compass direction I'm looking at, and then I can use that as a basis for choosing where I'm going to go with the telescope to make sure that I do have a clear field of view toward the object I want to see. In this case, I'm looking for comet A6 Lemmon. So I'm going to go to the search window, and we'll go to lists. I'm going to find comets, and in the search I will type C/2025, and it's already going to give me a list of all the 2025 comets available, and I'm interested in A6 Lemmon. So I click on that, and Stellarium goes and finds it in the sky, shows you where it's going to be, and in this case, we can, of course, Stellarium also, you'll notice, lists a whole bunch of information about this comet, what its magnitude is expected to be, declination, location coordinates, crap that I was frankly over my head because I'm a real amateur at this stuff. But anyway, a lot of information on the object that I asked for, shows me where it's going to be in the sky, and I can tell by looking at this that if I'm looking off to the west, another kind of nice thing about this is that Stellarium does give us a bit of a simulated landscape here, so I do kind of get a feel that based on where this thing is in the sky, it looks like it is going to clear any trees that might be in my way. That's kind of nice. So anyway, it looks like if I roughly set up my telescope to face the west-southwest, it's already going to be roughly pointing in the correct direction that it's going to need to be to find this object. Now, another thing I can do with Stellarium while I'm here looking at it is I can go to back to the time window, which I think was that one. Yeah, back to the time window, and now I can advance this and see what's going to happen to this object. Which direction is it going to move as it moves through the sky during the night? It is 6:30 I have this set for. I will get better pictures when it gets darker. So let's advance it to 7:30, and notice how the object has dropped dramatically on the horizon. It's barely clearing a tree, it looks like. So it looks like my primary opportunity for shooting this comet tonight before it gets too low on the horizon is going to be between 6:30 and 7:30 this evening. So here's hoping clouds don't roll in. However, if they do, that's okay, because I did already get a picture of the comet. What I was hoping to accomplish tonight was to get some video, but not sure if I can do that. I'd like to try, though. So fingers crossed on that. But in the meantime, this is what I did yesterday to decide where I wanted to go to set up and look for this thing. I didn't want to do it from where I live right here at home. Where we live right here in the heart, well, not in the heart, but in the city of Peoria. We are in the city. Our night sky is terrible, terrible. Super light pollution. However, about 5 miles to the west of where I live is a state park that is far enough away from the city lights that you can get some pretty decent dark skies out there. So that's my plan for tonight. That was my plan for last night. Would also be, again, my plan for tonight, assuming clouds don't come in. But anyway, yeah, so last night I went out to Jubilee and set up, and based on the information I got from Stellarium, it was pretty easy to find a spot to go and get set up to get a picture of this thing. So I did that, and this is what I got. Okay, I got the red light out because I'm out here at Jubilee State Park, about 5 miles outside of Peoria, a 20-minute drive from my house. I drove out here because the skies are much darker, and I have a much better view of the western skies. Because I am making another attempt at capturing, well, actually 2 comets tonight, but my number 1 target is the comet A6 Lemmon. And holy crap, this has been very successful. Let's have a look. Check that out. There it is. This stupid DJI camera. God damn it. Sometimes a cell phone camera works better, but let's try that again. Anyway, yeah, check it out. There it is. Comet A6 Lemmon coming in bright and clear, and look at that tail, and holy crap. Best picture of a comet I ever got. 100% success tonight. Let me see. Turn my light back on here. And shut off the stupid car alarm. Right. Okay. So, yeah, we'll go take another few passes at this comet at a few different gain settings, and then I'll go after R2 Swan, which won't have a tail. It does not have a tail, but it will look as like a little fuzzball. I'll see if I can grab that. And once I got that done, I might take a shot at one deep sky object, as long as I'm out here. Anyway, that's the report on what's going on so far. This is what, October 29th, 2025. A 2-comet night, a very rare event in the astronomy world. Here's the, well, you can see it, but there's the, whoops, wait a minute. There's the old dwarf lab doing its thing, taking pictures of that comet and tracking it. There we go. So this is, I took about 3 or 4 different pictures of this comet with different gain settings. This one does have some red speckles in it, but it is one of the darker sky pictures I got of it. But look at that. You could clearly see the, I guess it's called the coma in front of it. Clearly the tail. Some astronomers are reporting 2 tails off of this one. I'm thinking I'm only seeing 1 here. But nice. What a nice picture for a complete amateur. And how awesome it is to be out there in the night sky and to tell your telescope to go find this object. And then when that object suddenly appears on the screen, it's hard to describe. It's an amazing experience. So that's one picture. Let's have a look at just 2 others, which look very much similar to that one, but did get one. This picture has a slightly longer tail. It seemed like if you notice some light starting to creep into the bottom, so during the night or during my session as I was taking these pictures, the comet is moving, of course, and it's moving across the sky, and it's also moving itself. Now across the sky, it's moving down toward the horizon, or literally toward the receding sun. So it's starting to approach areas of the sky that have more light in them. But it seemed like as it got closer to that area, the tail did seem to get a little bit longer in the picture. And that's depicted right here with this picture. But that's a good one. And let's see, and there's this one here. That was a pretty good picture there too. I really like that one. So anyway, that's what I did last night with my smart telescope, the Dwarf 2, in an attempt to find A6 Lemmon. It's some of the software tools I use to help me find it, and the pictures I took, unlike normal astrophotography process where you would take hundreds of pictures of the object and then stack them and process them, with a comet like this, it's a little bit different. You really only need, 2 or 3 pictures to stack to really get a really nice view of a comet like this one. So what we're looking at here is each one of these pictures is a stack of 4 15-second exposures of the comet that are stacked and then processed. But anyway, I thought the results were really good, were really nice. I'm really excited to get some more pictures of this thing before it goes away forever. They called this a once-in-a-lifetime astronomical event for this comet, so glad I was able to get out there and get a picture of it and share it with everybody. No clouds tonight. Ta-la.